Welcome to the championship game here at the USA Softball Winter Classic in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm Jim Flanagan on the Gremlins Network, alongside my cohort here, Luciano Lofrano from Softball Premier TV, bringing you the great pictures that you've been seeing all weekend long. With a kind of a cherry on top, the umpire camera. We've been enjoying some of the umpires wearing the camera. Give you an up-close and personal look at some of the hitters. Hill United and New York Gremlins. If you were asking folks around the diamond who might be in the finals, I would wager that bets would have it these two would find their way here. Both teams undefeated through pool play and then on through the single elimination round. The Gremlins just getting past the Northeast Drillers in their semifinal game, coming away 6-5 winners, with the Drillers having taken a 5-3 lead in the top half of the seventh inning. Gremlins battling back. Eric Ochoa, the big blast in the seventh, ties the game. Brian Avery line shot to right field to win it on the walk-off. So that's where we are. We're going to be starting a little bit early here, 2:30 now. Hope you've decided to join us early. Let's set the Gremlins for you defensively. In the outfield, same trio that's been there all weekend. It's Brian Avery in left, Lucio Retamar, the young Argentine, in center, Zenon Winters, the veteran, in right field. Cuba Osicha will be doing the pitching. Nick Mullins will be doing the catching. Cuba, of course, a newcomer to the Gremlins this year. Pitched with AWP Lumberjacks last year and for the Czech Republic national team. Jerome Remeke at third, Cole Evans at short, Tane Mumu at second, Eric Ochoa at first base, and we are underway. First pitch is in for a called strike. Batting order for Hill United. Shane Bolin will start it off, hitting first. Brad Ezekiel second. Nick Shales in the 3 spot. Bruno Matroni batting fourth. Right on the inside edge of the strike zone. 2 strikes. So Matroni in the cleanup spot. Tony Gonzalez batting fifth. Lenny Villalvaso batting sixth. Alan Pecker seventh. Josh McGovern will be the DP batting eighth. And Papilo Lopez, the first baseman, in the 9 spot. Big right-hander, hard thrower Marco Diaz will be the starter for Hill United. He joining the club this weekend for the first time. Little slow roller in front of the plate. Up to make the play is Cuba. Flips it over to Ochoa for the first out. So Bolin retired. Interesting side note on this. Both of the starting pitchers were members of AWP Lumberjacks. So it was their starting duo. Now on new teams, Cuba Osicha with the Gremlins and Marco Diaz moving over to Hill United. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball. Meanwhile, AWP finishing fourth, or a tie for third in the tournament. They lost the semi to this Hill United club, but very good run through the tournament for the Lumberjacks. And they have reloaded their pitching staff with a couple members of the USA national team. Brad Kilpatrick and young Cody Gibbons coming up from the U18 circuit. Cody, of course, winning a gold medal at the Pan Ams and just missing a bronze in the World Cup very recently. So AWP will be fine. Lots of talent on that club. Here's Osa against Ezekiel. Good drop ball downstairs. Swing and a miss. 2 quick outs recorded by Osa. The pronunciation of his last name a little bit different than it looks in print. It's Osicka, but it's Osicha. We'll work on that all year long. They tell me his nickname back home in the Czech Republic is Osa, which seems a bit easier. Meanwhile, Nicky Shales takes one up the middle for a base hit. He's aboard with 2 out, and it'll bring up Bruno Matroni. Bruno, longtime member of the Argentine national team, one of the best catchers in the game, still playing at a very high level. Very good power. We've talked about the winds all day long, and they continue to be a factor. We had a reading of 29 miles per hour earlier today in the semifinal game, and still blowing. So most anything up in the air is going to carry. Off on the pitch is Shales. Ball gets past Mullins. I think Shales was off regardless. Maybe we'll catch the replay and see. No balls, 2 strikes to Bruno Matroni. Nick Shales looking on from second base. Way upstairs, a little bit too much on that one. Shales over to third base. So a couple of wild pitches from Cuba has Shales 60 feet away, but 2 outs trying to get Matroni to end the inning. Defense for the Gremlins straight away, corners, a couple of steps off the line. Hard ground ball, that one's going to be up the middle for a base hit. And Matroni drives in the first run of the game with an RBI single. With some help on the wild pitches advancing the runner, but there we are, 1-0. Hill United in the first. So Matroni gives way to a runner with the 2-out catcher rule. That looks to be Lucci Bondi, if I'm reading the handwriting correct. Lucci Bondi, youngster, looks to have good speed over there. He's off on the pitch. Ground ball to Cole Evans over to Ochoa for the out. Side retired, but not before the Chiefs notch a run. Single by Nick Shales, single by Bruno Matroni turns into a run. To the home half of the first we go. 1-0 Hill United in this championship game here in the 2024 USA Softball Winter Classic. Umpiring crew for this championship game, Mike Burwell from Ohio behind the plate, Kevin Wallace, Illinois, over at first, and John Hand over at third, also from Illinois. So 3 umpires from the Midwest, colder part of the country, enjoying the beautiful sunny weather here in Fort Myers, Florida. Marco Diaz in the circle for Hill United, we mentioned was with AWP last year. The Gremlins got a couple of looks at him, including a game in New York City at the Peligro Cup tournament. Marco pitched very well. Good hard thrower. His downfall in that particular tournament was walks. We'll see if that becomes a factor here. Batting order for the Gremlins, same as it's been throughout. Lucio Redemar, the Argentine, leading off. First pitch swinging, lines one down the left field line and on his way to second, but stops as the ball comes in. So Lucio continuing to have a great tournament, somewhere around 7 or 8 hits. He is among the leaders. Starting this one, Jerome Remicke with 8 hits, the leader on the Gremlins team. Cole Evans will bat third, Eric Ochoa fourth, Zenon Winters fifth, Blake Hunter, the DP, in the 6th spot. Brian Avery playing in left field will bat 7th, Nick Mullins, the catcher, batting 8th, and Tane Mumu, the youngster from New Zealand, at second base will bat 9th. Good hard one down the middle of the plate. That one clocking in at 86 miles per hour. So the hardest thrower we've seen in the tournament thus far. Waymel Mata was right around 80, 81 in the prior game. Marco can really bring it. 85 on a high, hard one. Looks in to say, where was it? A little banter about the location, but up it was. Downstairs, taken for a ball. Very patient at the plate is Jerome. Plenty of walks. At one point during the tournament, 3 walks in one game. So if it's not on his approved list to be swinging at, he won't. In for a strike on the outside part. Jerome will use the whole field, but tremendous power to right field. That's the spot you got to stay away from, that wheelhouse out over the plate or up. Swing and a miss right by Remicke on that one. A little extra. 1 out, 1 strikeout thus far for Diaz. And Cole Evans will step in. Swing and a miss on a good drop ball. Over the top drop. The bottom fell out. All 3 of these top hitters in the order for the Gremlins. Redemar in the 1 spot, Remicke in the 2 hole, and Evans in 3 are among the leading hitters on the team. Most hits, most runs scored. That one's in for a called strike right around the knees. So Diaz hitting his spots early. Hard one downstairs, misses low. In for a call, strike 3. So Cole Evans down on strikes, 2 in the game for Diaz, and it'll be Eric Ochoa coming to the plate. It was Ochoa with a huge home run in the 7th inning of that last game, the semifinal. Gremlins were down 5-3. Eric hit a ball into the parking lot over the right field fence for a 2-run homer that tied the game. Gave Brian Avery a chance to drive home the game winner. Redemar still over at first base. Skipper Greg Leather over in the third base box. He's off on the pitch. Down to second goes the throw, but Redemar with great speed sliding in safely. You had to think they would try and get him to second base, give Ochoa a chance to drive in a run with 2 outs. Time is called. Matrone will go out and have a word with Marco Diaz. Pretty good crowd on hand, people who have stuck around to the end of this tournament, both sides with their respective bleachers full. You don't get a chance to see two teams of this caliber playing each other that often. Last time they faced each other was on the final day of last year's ISC World Tournament. Gremlins were the winners of that tournament. Hill United a little banged up on that final day, dropped a 14-2 game to the Gremlins. Different club here in January. Swing and a miss by Ochoa. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Matroni. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball stays upstairs. Ochoa lays off. Zen and Winters on deck if we get that far. Shales about even with the bag at third, but well off the line, a good 5 steps or so, with the left-hander Ochoa at the plate. Grounder foul, will do it again. Shales, Bolin, Veloso, and Lopez around the infield. Gonzalez, Ezekiel, and Pecker in the outfield, left to right on your dial. Took a little bit off that one downstairs, taken for a ball. So Diaz nibbling around the edges against Ochoa, came right at the other hitters, but Ochoa being selective. Swing and a miss, down on strikes goes Ochoa. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Diaz. Redemar, the single to lead off, stranded at second, no runs, no, or 1 hit, and 1 runner left for the Gremlins. We've played 1 inning. It's 1-0 Hill United on top. Top half of the second inning for the Chiefs. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. That's Villalbazo, Becker, and McGovern. Filo Lopez would follow if any of them can reach. First pitch swinging, fouled out of play on the right side. The Gremlins wearing their new black pants. It's the all-black uniform. Those new pants being worn for the first time this weekend. Donated and custom tailored by Varm Matosian and Mr. Ned's Custom Tailor in New York City. The Gremlins thank Mr. Matosian. A little flare that's going to be grabbed by Eric Ochoa. Tane Mumu going over behind him. Looked like that one might find grass, but Ochoa gets it in time for the first out. Some stylish uniforms on both sides. Hill United wearing their black pants as well. And the brown pinstriped top. Alan Pecker is at the plate. He'll be followed by Josh McGovern. Lots of international talent on both of these squads. Bolin and Ezekiel, of course, from Canada at the top of the order. Shales from Australia. Matroni, Argentina. Pecker, Argentina. Josh McGovern from Australia. And the Gremlins, likewise on the other side, 4 or 5 countries represented. Actually adding one to the list with Kuba from the Czech Republic. Foul back and over our heads. Last year's starting second baseman, Ladislao Malarczuk, is home in Argentina. In his place this weekend has been Tane Mumu. So it's almost an all New Zealand infield. Remeke at third, Evans at short, and Mumu at second base. Eric Ochoa, of course, from the USA. Just missing inside. Grounder foul up along the right side. As long as we're covering geography, I guess we can add the Gremlins in the outfield. Abry from Canada, Redemar from Argentina, and Zenon Winters from Australia. Nick Mullins, another USA member. High fly ball. Zenon looks up and watches it sail. Home run, Alan Pecker. No doubt about it. Ball was up in the zone. And Pecker adds a run, now 2-0 Hill United. So Kuba will get a new ball to face McGovern. McGovern in the 8th spot in the order for Hill United. Drop ball misses inside. These two teams squared off in the first weekend of the regular season last year, that coming in June, third week in June. They were playing in the Chiefs Challenge up in Simcoe, Ontario. Also the championship game. Nick Shales hit a home run in that one, gave his team a 4-2 lead at one point, but Blake Hunter came through with a home run, and the Gremlins wound up winning the tournament. But a very even contest right down to the 7th. Change up and a beauty, floats that one in for a strike. Good drop ball right at the knees. Good rotation over the top from Kuba. No balls, 2 strikes. Good hard one in for a call. 3rd strike. 2 outs in the inning. 2nd strikeout in the game for Kuba. And the batter, Pepilo Lopez. Edgar Lopez. But Pepilo, the nickname that he goes by, I'm told. Flag still blowing off in the distance. If you get a shot on your screen of the left field side, you'll see them. Two flags, including the U.S. flag out there, and blowing pretty vigorously right now. Routine fly balls are not today. Foul tip back to the screen. Way upstairs, misses. Rounder foul around the plate. Just missing inside. So that'll run the count to full on Lopez. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 out in the inning, 1 run in. Swing and a miss on a beautiful changeup. Lopez out in front. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but Alan Pecker with a monstrous home run to right field puts his team on top 2-0 as we head to the home half of the second here in the championship game in this 2024 USA Softball Winter Classic. I'm Jim Flanagan here with Luciano Lofrano of Softball Premier TV, and we are on, you are watching the Gremlins Network. Bottom half of the second inning for the Gremlins. They'll send up 5, 6, and 7. That's Zenon Winters, Blake Hunter, and Brian Avery. Zenon, as we mentioned, from Australia, longtime member of the Australian national team. Still swinging it, had himself a great game in the semifinal, played a key role in that win. In for a called strike. Winters will be followed by the 2 boys from British Columbia, Blake Hunter and Brian Avery. British Columbia will be the host of this summer's ISC World Tournament, August 10th through the 17th in Surrey, just outside of Vancouver. First time it's been way out west in a while. And on cue, up come the Winds again. Off the plate ball. Two balls, 2 strikes. Winters, I guess you could say a little bit like Jerome Remeke in the sense that both of them very aggressive hitters. They will attack the ball, but by the same token, very selective about what they're swinging at. In for a call, third strike on the inside part of the plate. Fourth strikeout, fourth in a row for Marco Diaz. And the batter will be the designated player, designated hitter, Blake Hunter. Blake, I believe, is the leader in the home run category in this tournament. I know he has 3. Very good power. And as we mentioned, it was his home run in that Chiefs Challenge last June that beat the Chiefs in that title game. Good hard drop in for a called strike. Diaz really pushing off the pitching plate and getting the rotation over the top on that drop ball. In for a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Being in January and the very beginning of the season, chance for pitchers and catchers to get their signs and deliveries together. These are foul tip, a hard one in the dirt. Pitchers and catchers that have not worked together. Diaz, we mentioned, was on the Lumberjacks last year. And on the other side, the Gremlins, Nick Mullins, a very veteran catcher for the USA national team, but catching the youngster from the Czech Republic this weekend for the first time. So a spring training of sorts, but the way these teams have attacked the games, they are definitely taking them more seriously than just spring training games. High hard one stays upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Blake Hunter. Brian Avery will be next. Bouncer up the middle over to make the play is Vilvaso. Just in time. Nice defensive play by Lenny. Vilvaso over to Lopez for the out. Looked like it might have been trouble, but Vilvaso, good athlete over there, showing his range at second base. Here's Brian Avery. Change up out in front of the plate. Lays off, does Avery. Brian's last at bat came in the semifinal game we just finished. He had the game winner, line shot. Extra base hit to right center field, bringing home the winning run. High hopper, it'll be foul. Way upstairs, taken for a ball. That one coming in at 77 miles per hour. He's hit 85 or 86. Looked like he tried to put a little extra on that one. Sometimes it takes some speed off it. Overthrow. High hard one. 83 miles per hour on the drop, but it stays upstairs. Off the plate outside, and Avery works the walk with 2 outs. That'll bring up catcher Nick Mullins. Second base runner of the game For the Gremlins, Lucio Redemar led things off with a base hit down the left field line. Called strike one. Strike at the knees. Mullins didn't think so and lets our home plate umpire know so. Mullins, of course, the catcher, so he'll want that pitch, but thinking it's not a strike when he's at the plate. Downstairs for a ball. Swing and a miss. Down goes Mullins. Fifth strikeout in the game for Marco Diaz. We've played two complete. Hill United Chiefs on top of this one, 2-0. You're watching the Gremlins Network, the 2024 USA Softball Winter Classic here in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm Jim Flanagan. We'll be right back. Top of the third for the Chiefs, top of the order for the Chiefs. It'll be Bolin, Ezekiel, Shales, and Matroni if they reach. Bolin, a tapper to the pitcher his first time up, looks at one right down the heart of Main Street for a called strike. Hill United comes into this game with a perfect 5-0 record in the tournament. Started out on Thursday with a couple of wins. High pop foul over on the left side. Remeke gives chase but runs out of real estate. The Chiefs, 2 wins on Thursday. Homer Yard Goats, they beat 12-0. Came back and beat the Northeast Drillers, who tied for third. Beat them 9-2. Laced to left to third base, and Jerome Raymaki right in front of it. Grabs it and fires it around the infield. Almost not time to react, but Jerome speared it and 1 out recorded. L5 if you're scoring with us at home. Sizzling L5. Here's Ezekiel. Ezekiel swinging strikeout first time up. Very good power. One of the better power hitters in the game. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Good pitch, good idea, Nick Mullins. So the Chiefs winning 2 on Thursday. They came back, won another one on Friday against the Miami Tigers, 7-0. So 3-0 through pool play. Foul tip back to the screen. Then opened up this morning, wound up playing the Miami Tigers again in the playoff round. They beat them 8-0. And then in the semifinal game, a 4-2 win over the AWP Lumberjacks in a very good game. Brad Kilpatrick pitching well for the Lumberjacks in that one. Laced into right field. That one's going to be down the line, rattle around in the corner, all the way up against the fence, rounding first and now rounding second is Ezekiel. He's into third with a stand-up triple. Ezekiel hitting the ball as far away from home plate as you could, right down the right field line, just went with the pitch and didn't hesitate at all around first or second. So he is aboard with one out. And Nick Shales will be the batter. Shales, the veteran, longtime member of Team Australia and this Hill United Chiefs team. I read a note, Adam Folkert moving over to Bear Creek from the Chiefs this year. It's been a long time since I haven't seen those two playing together. Lifted foul over on the right side. You think of Shales, you think of Folkert, and vice versa. The two coming up through the Australian national program. Longtime members of these Hill United Chiefs. But it's a new day. It's 2024 and some new faces over there. Last year they picked up the youngster from the Czech Republic, Michael Holobratic, adding Marco Diaz this year. Martin Gonzalez still aboard, so a pretty good pitching staff. Meanwhile, Shales swings at one and comes up empty. So 2 outs in the inning. Ezekiel still over at third. It'll be up to Matroni to try and get him home. 4 strikeouts in the game. Matroni a single. Last time up, swings and misses at the rise. It was Matroni that drove in the first run. Shales having reached on a single. Gotten around to third and then singled home by Matroni. In for a called strike right at the knees. Good location by the young right-hander. Tony Gonzalez on deck waiting in the wings. But the game right now with Matroni. Hard grounder foul up along the left side. Picked by the skipper over there in the third base box, Jeff Ellsworth. One of the very best players in this game when he was. Still looking very athletic. Looks like he could step across the line, put on a glove, and days of old. Change up and a good one. Matroni way out in front, laughing, I think, at himself that he managed to get a little piece of it. Way out in front. Pop up on the rise ball. That one's going to carry up and over beyond us behind home plate. Outfield for the Gremlins, giving Matroni plenty of room, including Zenon, who's looks like he's almost back to the warning track. But Zenon, of course, has seen enough of Bruno Matroni. Knows the kind of power he has, and on a day like today with the winds blowing out, like a windy day at Wrigley Field, swinging a foul tip back to the screen. Drop ball, just a piece of it down into the dirt. Matrone continuing to battle. Hit into deep left field, but right at left fielder Brian Avery. Got under that one, hit a shot after having some good hacks before that, but the out recorded. And the runner, Ezekiel, stranded at third for the Chiefs in the inning. No runs, one hit, one man left. We played 2.5. 2-0 Hill United Chiefs on top of the New York Gremlins in this championship game. We'll be right back with more. So the Gremlins trailing by 2. They'll send up 9, 1, and 2 in the third. Tane Mumu will start it off. Lucio Redemar will follow. And then Jerome Remeke. Downstairs for a ball. Tane with a couple of hits in the semifinal game, having himself quite a weekend. Getting plenty of reps in his starts at second base. Laddie Malarczuk, as we mentioned, still home in Argentina. He was the starting second baseman for most of last year. Mumu and Masmu, the youngsters, playing well when they did get some at-bats or some innings. Downstairs for a ball. Line down the right field line, just missing getting a hit in the corner. Same swing he took in a couple of at-bats in the prior game and had good results. A couple of base hits that way. With speed like Tane has, you just have to put the ball in play. Not try and overdo it, just to hit the ball where it's thrown. And he's been doing that well today. Grounder foul. Hard one. Misses away 83 miles per hour on that pitch. Strike three called right at the knees. The drop from Diaz. Down goes Tane Mumu. Strikeout number 6 for Marco Diaz thus far. That'll take us back to the top of the shop to Lucio Retamar. Retamar in his debut weekend for the Gremlins in this 2024 season. Coming up from Argentina, played very well all weekend. Led off the game with a double to left, just went the other way with it. Scampered into second base with a double. Swinging a foul tip late on that one, but gets a piece of it. Getting a little bit of advice over there from Jerome Remeke. Jerome moved to the opposite side batting circle to try and stay out of harm's way. Helping himself also to a sneak preview of Diaz. Good look from where he's standing. That one stays upstairs, taken for a ball. Shales off the line, good 5 or so steps, maybe 6. Remember, it was down that left field line that Retamar went in his first plate appearance. Now moving over towards the line. A little slow roller to second base. He'll have to hurry. Just in time to get the speedy Retamar. Papilo Lopez and Villalvaso hustling over to make the play over there. 3-4. 2 outs in the inning. Jerome Remeke will step in. In for a called strike. So if you look on paper, the Gremlins here this weekend, we mentioned missing players. 3 of last year's starting 9 during that 36-2 season not here. Ladislao Malarczuk from second, Benny Noka, the regular center fielder, and Matthew Waugh played left field most of the year last year. But the others have filled in very well this weekend. That's why both teams sporting a 5-0 record coming into this championship game. Ball up high. Lifted out into deep left field, going back towards the fence is Gonzalez. He'll make the catch out around the warning track. Jerome put a good charge into it, but stays in the yard. 3 up and down for the Gremlins. No runs, no hits, and no one left. We've played 3 complete. Hill United 2, and the New York Gremlins nothing. We'll be back with more right after this. Pitching change for the New York Gremlins to start off here in the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Jack Besgrove. Jack comes on in relief of Kuba Osikta. You can close the book on Kuba. He winds up with 2 runs on 4 hits, strikes out 6. Just the 1 run in the first and the 1 in the second. That's the difference in the game right now. So the youngster from the Czech Republic pitching very well. But it'll be last year's most valuable player, World Tournament, all everything, Jack Besgrove to come on. 5, 6, 7 in the order. Tony Gonzalez, Lenny Vilvaso, and Alan Pecker. Off the plate outside. Jack pitched well earlier today in the semifinal. Pitched the first 4 innings, leaving the game with the score tied 3-3. Justin Schofield coming in to pick up the win in relief. Struck out 10 in an earlier pool play contest, so he's been in good form throughout. Foul tip, good rise ball up and in on Gonzalez. Gonzalez a ground out to short his first trip to the plate. That, of course, against Cuba. First look at Jack Besgrove. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball. Gonzalez down on strike. First strikeout of the game for Besgrove. Someone I know was watching this game back home in the Czech Republic. That would be Jacob Kopriva. I'm sure watching a couple of his young players, one on each side, Kuba, and of course Michael Holobratic over in the dugout for the Hill United Chiefs. Who do you root for, Jacob? Rise ball missing up high. Jacob, our host back in 2019 when we went to Prague for the World Cup, showed us his beautiful city of Prague. Laced up the middle, right past Jack Besgrove. Off his shoulder almost. Lenny Vilvaso aboard with a single. So 1 out, 1 on. Vilvaso at first. It'll be Alan Pecker at the plate. Alan with the towering home run to right field for that second run back in the second. Wind's really kicking up now. High pop up in the infield. It'll be back up and over. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss again. Pick here down on strikes. 2 outs in the inning, 2 strikeouts thus far for Besgrove. Still over at first is Lenny Vilvaso, and Josh McGovern will step in, the DP for the Chiefs. Rise ball in for a call, first strike. Changeup stays up high. In for a called strike on the outside edge. Great location by Bestgrove. McGovern, a strikeout victim, his first trip to the plate, went down looking, but that was to the young Czech pitcher, Osa. McGovern's first time facing Bestgrove. Beautiful pitch, framed nicely by Mullins, just not quite there. McGovern, of course, from Australia, a veteran of that program. Jack Bestgrove, the up-and-comer, coming up through the U23 ranks and then up to the men's club. Gold medals in both. Foul tip. We'll do it again. Gremlin outfield still giving the Chiefs plenty of room. Wind still kicking up. Off on the pitch is ball gets into center field, but backed up by Redemar. Vilvaso stealing second, but he's down. Looks like he might have taken an awkward slide. Looks okay. Some kind of discussion. I think maybe they're arguing that somebody obstructed him after he got to second base. I think that's what the discussion is. Trainer's out for Hill, but he looks to be okay, so they'll give him a chance to catch his breath. So Vilvaso at second base. McGovern still at the plate. So when the dust has settled, it is Vilvaso at second base, no further. Conference is concluded. McGovern back at the plate. We're ready to play. Still 2 outs in the inning. Rise ball in for a call, third strike. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Jack Bestgrove. Strands the runner at second base. To the home half of the fourth we go. Still 2-0. Hill United Chiefs in this one, championship game. USA Softball Winter Classic, Fort Myers, Florida. I'm Jim Flanagan here on the Gremlins Network. Bottom half of the fourth inning for the Gremlins. They'll send up 3, 4, and 5, the heart of their batting order. That means Cole Evans, Eric Ochoa, and Zenon Winters. Evans, a strikeout victim. First time up, went down looking. First pitch swinging at that one, grounded foul. The Gremlins have led in almost all of their games. First time they fell behind was in the semifinal to the Drillers. They trailed by 2 twice in that game. Drillers scoring the first 2 runs. They were up 2-0 before the Gremlins tied it and then took a lead. And then 2 runs down in the 7th inning of that game, only to rally for 3 runs. So we'll see if the comeback reflex is working here in this one. Diaz, a good outing here against the Gremlins. Just 2 base runners, Redemar's double to start the game, and Avery's walk in the second. Want to say a quick hello to Colleen Hicks, Mrs. Greg Hicks. Greg, of course, the first base coach over there, and heads up a lot of the things the Gremlins do on these weekends, responsible for organizing it, including our operation here in the Gremlins network. She's back home watching in Bakersfield, California. I want to say hello. Swinging late, down on strikes again goes Cole Evans for the first out. Seven strikeouts thus far for Marco Diaz, if you're counting, and we are. Eric Ochoa, swinging strikeout, his first look at Marco Diaz. Grounder foul up along the right side. The difference we see, I think, in today's Marco Diaz from last season, better command, more strikes. It was the walks that got him in trouble a couple of times against the Gremlins last year. And then, of course, the velocity is just dialed up, hitting the mid-80s today. Foul tip off the bat of Ochoa. Foul tip again. Two strikes to Ochoa. Marco Diaz working for the Chiefs. Foul tip again as Ochoa continuing to battle. Good contact hitter is Eric. I call him the Tony Gwynn with power. We saw some of that power in the semi. 2-run homer to tie it. But other than that, very much like Gwynn, he'll go the other way quite a bit. Likes to go to the 5.5 hole. Always trying to make some contact. Lays off the ball away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Seems like a long at bat for only a 1-2 count, but here we are. Lays off that one as well. Looked like he took a little bit off of that one. 2-2 now. Good battle going on. Diaz and Ochoa. Rounder foul on the right side. Somebody put some more quarters in the machine. Pace of this game is slowing down a bit. No one's waiting to start the next game after this one. Sort of a leisurely pace, but right now the matchup again, Diaz and Ochoa. Fouled off over on the left side. Two balls, two strikes to Eric Ochoa. Wind's kicking up. Off the plate outside, 3-2. Good at bat up here by Eric Ochoa. Ground ball to short. Bobble picks it up and throws, but wide of the bag. And safe is the call on Ochoa. Lopez not able to come up with the tag. Bolin fielded it, dropped it, picked it up, and kind of hurried the throw. And Papilo Lopez tried to tag Ochoa going by. Let's get a look at that replay if we can while we're waiting. Here it is, I think. Next time we'll have to remember that one. Great at bat by Eric Ochoa. Started out, was down at 1.02, battled all the way back to full. Kept hacking away, laid off the balls, and fouled off the strikes. Finds himself aboard. So third base runner of the game for the Gremlins. They may have changed the call. Greg Hicks out there, he's going to argue that. Our umpiring crew again, it's Kevin Wallace, the first base umpire. John Hand, the third base umpire. Mike Burwell, the home plate umpire. And they're going to have another word or two. I'm not sure what caused the change. Greg Leather now, the skipper, out talking to home plate umpire Mike Burwell. And Greg Hicks giving an earful to the other two umpires. We'll have to watch the archive on that one, but it was clearly a safe call by Kevin Wallace on the play, because as soon as he put his hands down to show safe, Papilo Lopez was arguing it. Our replay seems to be stuck, so we've not had a second look at it, but on the play. So a little argument on both sides. First the Chiefs, then the Gremlins. At the end of the day, Eric Ochoa finds himself at first base. Here's Zenon Winters with the winds really kicking up now. It's a full staff flag blowing out towards center field. Here's Zenon. Swing and a miss late on the ball away. Checking my GPS to see if we're not in Chicago. Off the play, just outside. Blake Hunter on deck. Gremlins trailing by 2, so Zenon Winters represents the potential tying run. Gremlins would certainly like to get a run here as we hit the midway mark in the game. Swing and a miss late again is Winters. That extra velocity you see from Diaz that you don't run into with other pitchers. You know he's throwing hard, but it's deceptive how quick that ball gets up on you. Just off the plate outside. Bruno Matroni framing that, holding it. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Zenon Winters. Downstairs, taken for a ball. So just as with Eric Ochoa, Zenon Winters has worked his way back through the count, now 3-2. Swing and a miss, down on strikes goes Winter. Good location. You see on the replay the ball moving down hard. Tough pitch to catch up with, to be sure. Blake Hunter at the plate. Eric Ochoa still over at first base now with 2 out. High hopper up the middle. Lazy move over to step on the bag by Shane Bolin. Easy play. Side retired. Hunter with the fielder's choice for the Gremlins in the 4th. No runs, no hits, a man left, 1 error. We played 4 complete. It's the Heel United Chiefs 2 and the New York Gremlins nothing. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. You want to see the end of this one. Top half of the 5th inning here for the Chiefs. (9-1-2) for the Chiefs. It'll be Papilo Lopez. Then back to the top of the order for Shane Bolin and Brad Ezekiel. Swing and a miss late on that one. Jack Besgrove came on in relief of Kuba Osichka. Osichka charged with the 2 runs. Marco Diaz, the starter for the Chiefs, still throwing. Check swing strike. Lopez, a strikeout victim back in the 2nd, but that was against the youngster from the Czech Republic. So his first look at Besgrove. Foul tip off the screen. No balls, 2 strikes. In for a call, 3rd strike. Good location by the left-hander Bestgrove. So Lopez down on strikes again, this time looking. And back to the top of the order we go to Shane Bolin. Bolin 0 for 2, a tapper out to the pitcher, and then that line shot right at and to Jerome Remicke. Good low rise from Bestgrove in for a called strike. Rise ball stays upstairs, up and out of the zone. Change up, that one stays upstairs. Bestgrove has a very good change. That was not one. He's thrown that one a couple of times, just staying upstairs with it. Maybe holding on to the ball a bit too long. Good pitch on the outside edge, just off the plate. Brad Ezekiel will be next. Rise ball in for a call strike. Good elevation on that one. Good use of the legs by Bestgrove, coming right at the batter. Popped up and out for a foul tip. Change up, there's a beauty, just misses with that one. So Bolin aboard with 1 out. Brad Ezekiel will be the batter. A better changeup on that pitch, just didn't catch the strike zone. Ezekiel 1 for 2, struck out and had the double back in the 3rd inning, got as far as 3rd, but did not score. His first look at Jack Bestgrove, or at least his first look today. These two teams saw each other a number of times last year, so no strangers are these two. Good over the top drop for a called strike. Rise ball in for a called strike. Nicky Shales on deck. Bolin aboard at first, 1 out. Good rise ball in for a called 3rd. No argument from Ezekiel. 5th strikeout through 2 innings for young Jack Bestgrove. Still over at first is Bolin. Shales will be the batter. Shales 1 for 2 in the game, singled in the first, came around to score the first run. A little flare out of play over on the right side. Called strike. So advantage Bestgrove ahead here 0-2 against Shales. See if Bolin might be off on the pitch. We're thinking about he is not. Quick snap throw down, but it doesn't matter because Shales down on strikes. Side retired for Bestgrove. The Chiefs, no runs, no hits, a man left at the end of 4.5, still 2-0. Hill United Chiefs. Early is getting late for the Gremlins. We'll be right back. Seven, 8, 9 for the Gremlins. That's Brian Avery, Nick Mullins, and Tane Mumu. Home half of the 5th inning. So down to their final 9 outs, trailing 2-0 to the Chiefs. Diaz throwing a very good game. Redemar the double to lead off the game. Avery a walk last time. And Ochoa reaching on the error. That's the only base runners the New York Gremlins have had against Marco Diaz. Avery, like a number of these Gremlin hitters, very good at working the count. Foul tip in the dirt. The winds have been a factor all day long. Anything up in the air has been carrying lots of home runs. So we'll see down the stretch of this game if it comes into play again. Misses downstairs. Michael Holobranek, the young Czech Republic pitcher, still over in the first base dugout, available if necessary. Martin Gonzalez as well. But it's been all Marco Diaz to this point in time. Hard grounder just about takes out our first base umpire, Kevin Wallace. First base coach Greg Hicks having a chat over there with Mr. Wallace just an inning ago on opposite sides of an argument, just chatting it up now. All in a day's work. Back to Mr. Avery we go. Hard swing on the drop ball. Bottom falls out, down on strikes goes Avery. Another good pitch from Diaz. I think it's been the hard drop that's been the most effective for Marco to this point in the game. The bottom falls out and just that extra velocity. Tough to catch up with. Here's Nick Mullins. First pitch swinging, high hopper to second base. Backing up on it is Villalvaso, but able to make the easy toss for the out. 2 up and down quickly for the Gremlins in the 5th. Down to the 9 spot in Tane Mumu we go. Tane 0 for 1, struck out his first time up looking against Diaz. Takes one over the top drop for a called strike. Swings at a drop ball down in the dirt. Found himself committed, couldn't stop, so down, no balls in 2. Grounder foul up along the right side. Swing and a miss on the rise ball. Down on strikes goes Tane Mumu. And down go the Gremlins in the 5th. 3 up and down. No runs, no hits. No one left. Still 2-0 Hill United. 2 innings to go. We'll be back with more. Top of the 6th inning for the Chiefs. It'll be 4, 5, and 6. That's Bruno Matroni, Tony Gonzalez, and Lenny Villalbazo. First pitch swinging is Matroni. One hopper to Cole Evans, up and across the diamond to Ochoa. And the first out of the inning is recorded. Here's left fielder Tony Gonzalez, 0 for 2 on the day. Ground out to short in a strikeout swinging. He was the first batter to face Jack Besgrove back in the 4th. Liner to right field. First pitch swinging is Gonzalez. His result, a base hit. Hit the pitch where it is thrown, and he did just that. Gonzalez aboard with a 1-out single, and it'll be Lenny Villalbazo at the plate. Luchi Bionde will be the pinch runner for Tony Gonzalez. So the youngster comes out to take his place, looking across the diamond to third base coach Jeff Ellsworth. The Chiefs have led 2-0 just about the whole game, but with offense like the Gremlins have, 2-0 is not necessarily the most comfortable position to be in. So look for the Chiefs to try and add an insurance run. Biondi is focused over there. Looks to have good speed over at first. Swing and a miss off on the pitch, and tag applied by Mumu, but he's safe. Great effort by Tane Mumu to catch the ball and try and apply the tag. I think Vilvaso was swinging. Let's watch the replay. It looked like he was swinging no matter what. The rise ball was up, but Biondi off to the races, now down at second base. That's Blake Hunter, by the way, behind the plate now for the Gremlins, coming on in place of Nick Mullins. Hunter, the DP, to start the game, so they'll just slide him over to the catcher's spot. That one gets away from Hunter. Wild pitch over to third goes Biondi. So the Chiefs get exactly what they want, speed on the bases, and able to pick up a couple of bases with that insurance run just 60 feet away. Shallow left field coming on to try and make the catch, but no man's land, it falls. Sliding in safely to second is Vilvaso, and checking in with run number 3, Luci Biondi. Watch the replay. Just a little flare, but nowhere near any of the fielders. Nothing they could do except pick up the ball and watch Biondi score. Heads up base running by Vilvaso to take the extra base. Now he in potential scoring position. Alan Pecker, the batter, 1 for 2 with that home run back in the second. His second at bat against Bestgrove, struck out swinging last time up. Swing and a miss on the drop ball, a beauty. The bottom falls out. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Alan Pecker. High foul ball will be way out of play over on the right side. Just a little bit out in front of that one. Important out here for the Gremlins if they're to stay close. Missing downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Alan Pecker. Josh McGovern on deck. Pop foul over on the left side. We'll do it again. Right down the heart of Main Street, down on strikes goes Alan Pecker for the second time today. Big second out for the Gremlins. Vilvaso still at second base, but Bestgrove now needing just 1 out to get out of the inning. Josh McGovern, the batter. McGovern a pair of strikeouts today, one against Cuba and last time against Bestgrove. Good block, ball in the dirt, blocked by Blake Hunter, keeps Vilvaso at second base. Rise ball, a beauty. That one elevating up through the zone. In for a called strike. In for a call strike on the outside edge. So Bestgrove now with 2 strikes needs 1 to get out of the inning. Rise ball, swing and a miss. Down goes McGovern. Side retired, but not before the Chiefs add a run. They score 1 on 2 hits. 1 man left through 5.5. Now 3-0. Hill United on top over the New York Gremlins. We'll be back with more right after this. Home half of the 6th inning for the Gremlins, now down to their final 6 outs. They are back to the top of the order. That means Lucio Retamar, followed by Jerome Remeke and Cole Evans. Retamar, the owner of the only hit against Marco Diaz. That one came on the first pitch of the game. Double line down the left field line. Abri a walk in the second. Ochoa reached on an error in the third. That's been it. Uncharacteristically quiet offense by the Gremlins, but certainly a fellow in the circle right now, a big reason for that. Marco Diaz pitching a whale of a game. In for a called strike. Retamar, good speed, just looking to make some contact, put the ball in play, find a way onto the bases. Hard one down to second. Nice play by Vilvaso coming across to his right. Beautiful defense by Lenny. Retamar retired on the 4-3 putout. Problem for the Gremlins with that third run scoring by the Chiefs is it's no longer a game where a bloop and a blast will get you even. That was sort of the formula they played in the semifinal. Right now they need 3 and only 5 outs left. In for a called strike, 84 miles per hour on the hard one on the outside part of the plate. Off the plate away. Same basic pitch, just off the plate. Downstairs for a ball. Justin Schofield looked like he was getting in a little work down the sideline. We see Kuba coming back to the dugout. So all hands on deck. There is no tomorrow for the Gremlins. In for a call, strike away on the outside edge, 2-2. Time is called by our home plate umpire, Mike Burwell. Off the plate away, so the count runs full. Remaki again working the count. See if he comes back with that pitch away on Remeke. Sets up outside. That indeed is where it was. Swing and a miss by Jerome. Down on strikes he goes. 2 out in the inning. And Cole Evans will be the batter. Evans 0 for 2 against Diaz. Backwards K and 1 swinging. Change up and out on his front foot is Evans. Bad enough to have somebody throwing 85 miles per hour, but then mix in a change. Almost not fair. Hard one grounded foul by Evans. No balls in 2. Hard drop ball missing away. 82 miles per hour on that one. Swing and a miss downstairs on Evans. Down goes Evans. 3 up and down quickly for the Gremlins. 2 more strikeouts for Marco Diaz as he continues to dominate thus far in the game. To the 7th we go. We'll be back. Hill United 3, New York 0. Pitching change for the Gremlins to start the top of the seventh. It'll be Justin Schofield coming on. Justin, the hard-throwing right-handed Canadian, has gotten a good amount of work out here this weekend as a pickup pitcher and has thrown very well. This one saw Kuba Osika starting, gave way to Jack Besgrove, and now the third pitcher for the Gremlins, Justin Schofield. (9-1-2) for the Chiefs. It'll be Papilio Lopez. Then back to the top of the order of Shane Bolin and Brad Ezekiel. Lopez, a couple of strikeouts, one to Osika, and the other to Jack Besgrove, his first time facing Schofield. In for a called strike. Swing and a miss right by Lopez with that one. Little check swing, foul tip over on the left side. Two strikes on Lopez. Downstairs, missing for a ball. One ball, two with a count on Lopez. Shane Bolin waiting on deck. Little pop foul up and over the booth here, right behind us. We'll do it again. One ball, two strikes. Ground ball, one hopper to Schofield. He'll walk it halfway and underhand toss to Ochoa for the rest. Lopez retired for the first out of the seventh on the 1-3 putout. To the top of the order we go with Shane Bolin. Bolin 0 for 2. Tapper to the pitcher. Line shot out to Remeke at third, and then walked last time up, did not score. Fly ball lifted out into center field, straight away to Retamar, who camps under it to make the catch. With the winds, you never know, but that one stays in the park. Bolin retired. That'll bring Brad Ezekiel to the plate. Ezekiel 1 for 3 on the day, had the triple back in the third. Got all the way to third base, but did not score. Change up and a beauty, drops that one in for a called strike. 40-foot drop ball by Schofield, misses a bit. Doing a little housekeeping out there. Looked like you might have caught a cleat on that one, not the normal delivery from Sco. Rise ball stays upstairs. Little off-speed drop, misses downstairs. Swing and a miss on that one up in the zone. Always the high, distinctive hands up over, almost over his head. Swing and a miss at that one. Rise ball. Down goes Ezekiel for the third out. 1-2-3 inning for Justin Schofield in relief. Last call for the New York Gremlins on the short end of a 3-0 game right now. Down to their final 3 outs. We'll be back with the home half of the 7th in this championship game at the 2024 USA Softball Winter Classic at Fort Myers, Florida. I'm Jim Flanagan on the Gremlins Network, here with Luciano Lofrano and his Softball Premier TV. We'll be back.
Visita la nueva.
Bottom half of the 7th in this championship game. It'll be up to Ochoa, Winters, and Hunter. Try and get something going for the Gremlins. So we are in the 4, 5, and 6 spots in the batting order. Ochoa reached on an error his last time up. The ball hit too short. Had himself a very good at-bat. Worked from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count, and then finally got aboard. One of the few base runners the Gremlins have been able to muster against Marco Diaz. Diaz now with a dozen strikeouts, working on the Baker's dozen. Foul tip out of play on the left side. We talked at the beginning of the game about Diaz and last year having some issues with walks or balls thrown. Today, just the one walk drawn by Brian Avery. Hard grounder to second, picked up cleanly by Villalvaso. Flips over to Lopez for the first out. 4-3 if you're keeping a scorecard with us at home. The batter, Zenon Winters, steps in. Hunter will be next. Swing and a miss on that one for Winter. 84 miles per hour on that one. .83 miles per hour on that one, just off the plate. Big smile from Zenon, saying as if not that one. Foul tip in the dirt. Good hack by Winters. Just off the plate outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Zenon Winters. 1 out in the inning. Gremlins down to their final 2 outs. Called strike 3. Zenon Winters down on strikes. 2 outs in the inning. So 13 strikeouts on the game for Diaz. And Blake Hunter, the batter. Diaz has not struck out Hunter. Grounder to second and a fielder's choice ground ball. Brian Avery would be next, but Hunter will have to reach to keep the game alive. Both of these teams came in with perfect 5-0 records through pool play. They were 3-0. Both won their first 2 playoff games. Chiefs over AWP, Gremlins over the Northeast Drillers to get them into this championship game. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Hunter. Down go the Gremlins for the first time in 2024. Hill United Chiefs and Marco Diaz put down their marker. They are the champions of this 2024 Winter Classic. Gremlins finish a very good 5-1 record with a great comeback win in their semifinal game. I'm sure that's the one they will remember as they come away from this weekend. These 2 teams will see each other down the road in the 2024 season, I'm sure. It'll be a few months, but something for fastball fans to look forward to. Lots of other great teams around now. The Northeast Drillers, one to keep an eye on as the season progresses. For the Gremlins Network, I'm Jim Flanagan. We thank our friend Luciano Lofrano for all his work on the streaming operation. We thank the umpires for wearing the new umpire camera and hope you've enjoyed all of the action. We're going to head for home at this point. Look for some photos online. Maddie's photos will be up at some point. We'll see you down the road come summer. So long.
Visita la nueva innovación de softball, el sitio web donde podrás vivir los mejores torneos de América, juegos en vivo, noticias, torneos y más. Softball en vivo, donde quieras con la mejor calidad. Regístrate y sé un miembro Premier. www.softballpremiertv.com. Vívelo, Premier. Visita la nueva innovación de softball, el sitio web donde podrás vivir los mejores torneos de América, juegos en vivo, noticias, torneos y más. Softball en vivo, donde quieras con la mejor calidad. Regístrate y sé un miembro Premier. www.softballpremier